Hi there, my name's Eddie, my pronouns are he, him, and I'm the Wolfsbane Witch. And today I wanted to talk about the right way to witch. If you're a new witch, you might be wondering a bunch of different questions like, what's the right way to do this spell I want to do? Or, I want to give this offering, but am I doing it right? Or, I'm just new to witchcraft and I want to make sure I don't do anything wrong. I just want to be a good witch, and being a good witch means I need to witch right. Right? Well, sorta. Let's talk about it. So, when I hear the question, what is the right way to do magic? What is the right way to do witchcraft? To me, the way my brain interprets it is a lot like someone asking you, what is the right equation to get the product of 2? You know what I mean? Because if you spend any time really looking at it, you'll realize that almost an infinite number of equations can end up with the very last number resulting in 2, right? 1 plus 1 equals 2. 4 minus 2 equals 2. They didn't even do the same thing. One added and one subtracted. They both got 2. So what was the right equation? You know, what was the one true equation to give you 2 the right way? Well, there isn't really one equation. There's many equations. And what it really depends on are the numbers you're using, right? And I think that a lot of this confusion comes from people who have been taught that there is the right way to do magic. Or they've been taught and they kind of misconstrue the form of magic that they have learned for all of magic, right? So, yes, there are traditions out there in which there are a right and a wrong way to go about magical things. So in certain traditions, you would have a sort of prescribed way to do a certain ritual or a certain type of spell. And that would, in that tradition, be the correct way to do it. This doesn't mean that this is the correct way to do it for all of witchcraft. It'd be kind of like saying that, imagine that you are a person who has been taught how to play tennis. But you have mistaken tennis for every sport ever. You think tennis equals sports, right? So when you walk onto a football field or see an Olympic swimming pool, and you see people doing their thing, right? If you believe that tennis is the only sport, you would scoff at all these people and say, well, these swimmers, they're not athletes. They don't even have a net. They don't even use rackets. What? These soccer players, what are they doing? Using their feet? That's not how you do sports. You know what I mean? That's not the right way. No, that's just not the right way to play tennis. That's just not the right way in your sport, in your tradition. Not all of sports, not in all of witchcraft, right? And so what I'm trying to say here is that there is no right way to witch. There are right ways to do certain practices. There are right ways to do certain traditions. But there's no right way or wrong way to witch. As long as you get the product of 2 that you're looking for, you done it right. And I just want to add one more thing before I wrap this video up. I know it's pretty quick, but I feel like it needs to be said. If there genuinely was only one right tradition, only one right way to witch, we would know that pretty easily, because only one way would ever give results. But that's not what we see. We see people in all sorts of practices, in all sorts of traditions, and in all sorts of cultures doing magic that works. And so either you have to be so egotistical to believe that everyone else is lying, or to believe that yours is somehow the best. And that kind of boils down to ego too, right? I think it's kind of elitist to assume that one way of magic has to be correct, and one way of magic is superior to all other forms. Like I said, we'd know fairly quickly if only one way worked, because that would be the only way anyone ever gets results. And the fact that there are hundreds, if not thousands, of forms of magic out there proves this to be wrong. So, if you ever feel like you're not witching right, I just want to say that you're not alone, but you're also not correct. You are witching perfectly fine. As long as you are getting the results you are looking for, you are doing just fine. And you have no reason to doubt yourself or your magic or your abilities. And if what you're finding isn't working for you, that's okay too. Everybody has moments where they're learning, and everybody has moments when they fall down and they can pick themselves back up. So if you find that the types of spells you're doing aren't working, or the types of magic you're doing isn't working, that doesn't mean you're doing it the wrong way, or that you're a bad witch. It just means that maybe you should try something differently. And this doesn't mean that one person has all the answers, or one tradition has all the answers. It might be for you, but it also might not be, right? So I just think that if you're feeling that you're not witching right, or if you're so scared that you just don't feel like you know how to do it, or you're scared that you're going to do something wrong, I just want to reassure you that you're doing just fine. And you'll be continuing to do just fine. Just keep doing you, and keep exploring, and keep practicing. If something doesn't work, it's not the end of the world. Just pick yourself up and try again. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.